Broadcasting live on the UnitedWest.org AM radio network and simulcasting on DirecTV, iHeartRadio, Roku, and the World Wide Web, this is Enemies of the State with Tom Trento.
Thunderstruck!
46 on Friday, April 17th at 5 minutes, about 6 minutes after 4 o'clock on the east coast of Florida. 46 is the operative number for today. On is this a Jumpin' Juma Freaky Friday?
Yes. I think it is.
Yes, it is.
Well, how am I supposed to know that?
Well, I don't know. Maybe if you had a graphic that would help you out, like this one.
Could we put a song together, maybe? All right, well, we missed the song, but it's...
No, we didn't miss a song. That was just a prelude.
Oh, a prelude. Here we go. All right.
My Sharia. My Sharia. Never gonna stop or give it up. Killing infidels, always got it planned. Underhand, give a lot a yell. My, whoa! My Sharia. My Sharia. My Sharia.
Now, you heard Mohammed Morsi, former president of Egypt, in our little bit there talking about the Sharia, nothing else but the Sharia. You're going to hear in just a couple of moments, ladies and gentlemen, the head of CAIR, Council on American Islamic Relations, for the Los Angeles office, Hussam Alouche, in a conversation with me on a corner across from the United States Capitol, avoiding, dodging, disassembling, oily, slickly sliding out from a couple of simple questions. Does the Sharia include a political component? You're going to see that in just a couple of moments, as today, 46 is the operative number. Anybody know why?
No. Why? No. I'm stumped.
It's been 46 days since we started this whole crazy campaign, March 2nd, 2015, where there was a gigantic snowstorm up north, shut everything down. The four of us were headed to, Damon, Mark, Alan, myself, headed to Washington, D.C. to greet Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu as he spoke to Congress on the 3rd. And Alan and I were able to get up there. Mark and Damon stayed in the studio. We live streamed. Alan, you there, Alan?
Well, nice. Thanks for that little toss there, Tom.
Alan, you there?
I am here, Tom. Thank you.
You realize we got sick on that trip 46 days ago?
Time flies.
You any better today?
Much better. Thank you very much, and thanks for having me on.
Of course, I'm all healed, but our adventure that we're summing up today, ladies and gentlemen, is a 46-day adventure starting on the 2nd of March. On the 3rd, we live streamed the 3-hour rally in support of Benjamin Netanyahu, who 14 days later won in a landslide, unpredicted, confounding all the leftists, confounding Obama's V-15, all of that. Benjamin Netanyahu won, solidifying a very clear politic in Israel that this two-state solution is nonsensical, that the Iranian situation needs to be dealt with in a serious and aggressive manner, and many other developments in Israel. Notwithstanding the fact that the Likud party, the conservative party, will indeed address some of the social issues more so than they have in the past. The concern for the 7 million citizens in Israel was national security, national security, national security. The election was on the 17th. We left on the 20th. The United West went on the Ronnie Wexler tour. Now, can that guy get by a microphone by any chance? Can we hear his voice?
Yes,
Are you here, Ronnie?
I'm here. I'm in the studio, and I'm enjoying the show. I'd like to say hello to everybody who's listening or watching. Shalom from Israel. Actually, I've been back here now for 2 days.
That's
it's
all right.
Great. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. All right, that's great, Ronnie. Ronnie, surprise visit, heading back. You're going back to Israel. He's here in Florida right now.
Yes, he is.
We're going to next week. We're going to really get into the details of our national security mission, which was simply amazing, life-changing for the 25 people that came with us, and now 25 more that want to come. We got to put all those pieces together. But on the 17th, the election, the 20th, we were there for 2.5 weeks. We had the mission we'll talk about next week. Then we had a taping of a legendary general, a documentary that will be forthcoming in a few months as we put it together. A story of the general heading up the attack on the Osirik reactor just southwest of Baghdad on June 7th, 1981. We taped that story. It's in the can. We got it. We're working on it. We're gonna premiere it in Tel Aviv this summer sometime. And we got back on the 6th of April. We immediately reloaded, came in here, did a whole bunch of stuff to get out of Dodge on the whatever day we left. What day did we leave?
We left
The
on a
12th.
Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday the 12th. And then we spent Monday, Tuesday, Muslim Brotherhood Advocacy Day, April 13th, Monday. Tuesday, April 14th, Palestine Advocacy Day. We spent those 2 days confronting the Muslim Brotherhood on Capitol Hill. And if you have to go away from the show right now, here's the big idea. We wrote it down. Confront, expose, defeat. Everybody cries with the Muslims, the Brotherhood, and all this stuff. All you got to do, folks, is confront them ideologically, physically confront them, legally, professionally, expose them for the lying terrorists they are, and you defeat them. And we did that this weekend, and we're going to show you in the next
Monday? What do you mean this weekend? It was earlier this week.
Earlier, whatever it was. 46 days, and I'm almost recovered from all of that.
You know, I even got the date and time on his and
It
even the day of
was
week.
it was life-changing. We've all been involved in a lot of stuff, but this was really an outstanding operation. And we have, for our listening and viewing audience, we have all of us together, not all of us that were involved in the operation, but the key folks from the United West Florida branch. We got people other places. And let's do like a roll call like they do on the Mickey Mouse Club. Jimmy, are you there, Jimmy?
Well, you're going to go up next to the wall or what? What
You want me to go to the wall? Yeah, we'll introduce. We have everybody's faces. Did everybody Skype in?
Yeah. We
We have Alan on a phone, but we got a picture of his
Oh,
mug.
we got a picture of him. Okay. So let's do the United West Club here.
There
Here
we
we go. Who's this? Introduce yourself, please.
How you doing, folks? My name is Roger Gangitano, and I'm part of the United West, and very proud to be part of the United West.
And you came with us to Washington, D.C., and not only did you wow the folks at the bar in the hotel with your Rodney Dangerfield stories, but you also participated in a very pinpoint operation against the Brotherhood.
That's true.
All right, let's bring up the next club member here. Where's that? Oh, there he is. Alan, how are you doing?
He can't see you, Tom.
I'm doing fine, Tom. Thank you for having me on.
How does he talk without moving his lips?
It's magic.
All right, Alan's there. Let's go to Mark. Mark Campbell, where are you?
Well, I'm right here.
There you go.
I'm on this side.
And Ronnie's in the middle.
Ronnie's
and
in the
Damon, you there?
Right there.
All
right
right.
here.
I just want to take a couple of minutes with the five of us to kind of reflect, personally reflect on. Everybody's a seasoned operator here with these kinds of battles, but Roger, this is you've done a lot of stuff. This was your one of your first times in Washington, and could there be one of your first times in Washington? This was your first time actually in Washington. I don't understand how an Italian guy from New York has never been to Washington, D.C. How did that happen?
Just lucky, I guess.
To share your kind of reflective, personal observations of, and you got 30 seconds to do this, okay? We have a mute button.
Me, 30 seconds? Yeah, Washington, honestly and truly, it was impressive being there. I was honored to be in the nation's capital. A mighty big place. It is spread out, an awful lot of walking for a guy like me. And I was happy to be there, and I was proud to be associated with the activity that we were doing and the mission that we were on. It's great. It's just a marvelous experience. More time, I would have hit the museums.
Yeah, absolutely. What is one of your
You're
takeaways?
so old you should be in a museum.
What is
So
one,
old I was born before the Dead Sea got sick.
what is one of your takeaways by application? You head up a group, activism group in the Melbourne area, and you could mention the group, right? Go ahead, feel free.
I'm a chapter leader for the Act for America Space Coast chapter in Brevard County.
Yeah, good group. What is one of your takeaway applications for your 100 or so folks that are members there?
Well, as far as the trip to Washington is concerned, okay, we combated the U.S. CMO's efforts to show that they have a political face and their efforts to get legislators to weaken the laws for law enforcement's ability to track suspected terrorists. They say that offends Muslims. And the only way I can see it offends Muslims is if they're a suspected terrorist. I mean, I'm sure bank robbers would like to soften the laws against catching them, but they don't have a group, I guess.
And they probably will after they listen to this and go, we should have a group like the Muslims do, and maybe we can change the law. Alan Kornman, you're a seasoned veteran of many operations like this, head-to-head with the Brotherhood. What is your takeaway? And you're one of the leaders in Orlando on the counter-jihad movement. What, by application, we like to, on this show, ladies and gentlemen, we like to not just go do this stuff for the sake of doing it, but we like to do it for the sake of applying our experience and lessons to assist others in doing the same thing. What can you bring back and help others do exactly what we did that day?
Well, what we did, Tom, is that on April 13th, the U.S. Council of Muslim Organizations had their first annual Muslim Brotherhood U.S. Capitol Advocacy Day. The three main planks of the U.S. Council of Muslim Organizations is, one, to end racial profiling, and two, to strengthen after-school programs. Their main goal, however, is to have the world consider themselves a Muslim political party. Now, the problem, Tom, with this is the two main groups of this U.S. Council of Muslim Organizations, that would be CAIR, the Council on American Islamic Relations, and the Muslim American Society, are designated terrorist groups by the United Arab Emirates. It is hard to have your party be considered mainstream when you are a terrorist organization.
Yeah, I guess it would be. And in all of your activity, the lobbying up on the Hill, the distribution of literature, the participation in the shows, the follow-up work we've done, if you had to take a lesson out and have some very serious activist out there that's afraid to take that next step to actually go and talk to these people, what can you share with them that would make that process easier for them to participate?
Well, the easiest thing to do is, one, to have your facts in hand and to confront these Muslim terrorists, call them exactly what they are. They are UAE-designated terrorist groups, and call them as such, and they will scamper, and they will hide, and they will run for the hills.
Yeah, it's a good point. Folks, this organization, USCMO, U.S. Council on Muslim Organizations, is a conglomerate of Muslim Brotherhood organizations in an effort to form a ummah, a small ummah, small family political party in America. Our job was to confront and expose and defeat them. We had a tripartite philosophical and methodological plan to do that. First part was a 5-part investigative expose on all elements of their organizations and their individuals. And we did that the week leading up to the 13th and 14th. In fact, on day 4 and 5, 13, 14, we played the final 2 segments, 1-hour segments in this investigative 5-part series. You can find it at youtube.org/theunitedwest. You can find it there, or on our website, theunitedwest.org. You can go look at the first part of our 3-part series, 3-part operation. The second part was the actual distribution of literature on Capitol Hill. And the idea, and if we have a copy, guys, of the flyer, the brilliant flyer that was put together. And this is agitprop, if you want. This is positive propaganda. We take legitimate information, We take real live factual information. We document it. Yeah, throw that back up there for a second. We document it. We have a connection down the bottom as to where you can do further research. And we highlighted 3 people. Mark, who are the 3 people there? The 3 top people.
Oh, Nihad Awad, also Siraj Wahhaj. Well, Nihad Awad, head of CAIR, Siraj Wahhaj, 1993 World Trade Center co-conspirator in the bombing, and Mazin Mukhtar, the head of, what's he the head of again?
He was known as the godfather of internet jihad for the Taliban and Al-Qaeda. At one point, Chris Christie had him arrested. At one point, he was banned from entering the United States. But this administration and Department of State said that he was more than welcome to come on back, and he's one of the leaders of the USCMO.
All right, now let's look at these 3 guys right here for a second for our viewing audience. 22 minutes after 4, Tom Trento, your host, Enemies of the State, name of the show. Why do we name it that? Just look at the wall of the Great Wall of the West over here, please. There are enemies of the state right there. These guys are dyed-in-the-wool, hardcore terrorists, enemies of the United States, enemies of the West, enemies of Israel. Pretty simple, enemies of the state. That's the name of the show. You're on WSBR Radio, 740 AM, broadcasting out of Boca Raton. Hello to all South Florida drivers. Lock in 740 every day, 4 o'clock. We're here, and we're on 1010 in Tampa Bay. WHFS Radio, 1010 Tampa
Hi,
Bay.
Hassan, you terrorist.
Yeah, Hassan Shibli. We'll get into him maybe a little later or the next show.
Well,
but out of these 3 guys right here, I think we have some video. The third part, follow this carefully. We had a 3-part operation, 5-part series, distribution of literature. This is one of the pieces we distributed along with a Muslim Brotherhood memorandum. The third part of our operation was to go and talk to these guys. When we say confront, we mean just go ask them questions in an investigative manner that every single journalist in America should be doing, but they don't. And watch this confrontation with Nihad Awad, the head of CAIR, one of the prime organizers of this, one of the prime leaders of the Muslim Brotherhood organization. And Damon ran into him very early on. Check this out. There's Mazin Mukhtar. They're coming through security. How'd they make it through security? I don't know. There's Nihad Awad. Damon's asking a question. Can you tell me if there's such a thing as the Muslim Brotherhood in America? What's the answer, Damon?
It's a beautiful day on Capitol Hill.
All right, Damon tries again. Can you tell me if there's such a thing as the Muslim Brotherhood in America? What does he say again, Damon?
It's a beautiful day on Capitol Hill.
Damon tries a third time. Is there such a thing as the Muslim Brotherhood in America today? He's talking in Nihad Awad, a leader of the Muslim Brotherhood, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to the answer for the third time. It's a beautiful day. Damon tries the fourth time. But is there such a thing as the Muslim Brotherhood in America? And that's the end of that clip. Damon, what happened? Tell the viewers and listeners what happened. Yeah, you don't have to show it anymore. That's enough.
Well, then I asked him, I said, if there is such a thing as the Muslim Brotherhood in America, would that be a good or a bad thing? And they slithered out the door. You really should show the end of that video real quick.
That's all right. We need to move
away
on. Let's
like
show
those slimy snakes they are.
Now, on the 3 individuals here, we got Mazin Mukhtar. Let's show the Mazin Mukhtar video, if you can cue that up. Point we want to make right now, folks, is once these folks knew we were coming, and we weren't hiding the fact that we were coming, we actually publicized the fact that we were coming. We actually found out what hotel they were going to be in and stayed in the same exact hotel as many of the leaders, which they may or may not have appreciated, but that's...
I'm assuming they didn't.
I don't
Probably
think they
didn't,
did.
but they got to deal with their own internal security regarding issues like that. We ran into Mazin Mukhtar, and watch what he says when confronted with whether or not there's a brotherhood.
Now you talk about true ambush. We came right from behind.
Around a bush. We came around a bush.
Here we go.
Hi guys, how you doing? Mazin, how are you? It's a very, very nice day.
Oh, we're wondering if you think there's a Muslim Brotherhood in the United States.
Very, very nice day on Capitol Hill today.
Do you think there's a Muslim Brotherhood in America?
It is a beautiful day on Capitol Hill today.
Thank you very much, sir. All right.
So that's a no or a yes?
It's a beautiful day on Capitol Hill.
All right.
Was that you who said,
don't
is that a
think
no
those-
or a yes?
You
What's
don't
that?
think those guys
Yes.
talked about how to deal with us beforehand, do you?
No, not at all.
Well,
No.
here's the very important point. I mean, this looks like fun and all of that, a little bit of theater. It is theater, but there's always a very critical national security point that we are making. Obviously, once they knew we were coming, they prepped not only the leadership, but the attendees to just not deal with us, not grant interviews, and just have the same stock, party line. It's a beautiful day in the U.S. Capitol. Smile and walk on. All right, but what this does, what this exposes, this is comparable, analogous to Nazi war criminals being questioned about whether or not the Nazi Party existed, or the Ku Klux Klan members being questioned about whether or not the Klan existed. We're asking Muslim Brotherhood leaders whether or not their organization exists.
Yeah.
They can't say yes, because then they're going to have the wrath of even the left maybe come down on them. So they have to deny the existence of that which they are. When you do that, you create existential confusion in their head. You create confusion with them as leaders, and you strengthen the good guys trying to disrupt, disable, destroy their operations in America. This is not that hard, folks. When you lie and somebody confronts you with it, this is what you see.
Well, and just go to the third point. The leader of CAIR in California, who is a member of this triumvirate here, he says there is no have a nice day. And
Do we have video with that?
Yep, sure do.
Okay, let's introduce. Now,
Hussam
Alan, I
Alouche.
think Alan, you taped one of these. We have a couple of pieces on Hussam Alouche, the mirror image of Nihad Awad. He's the national director based in Washington. Hussam Alouche, second or third in line. Shibley, though, is scratching to get to the top.
Yeah,
of that.
he's
From what
low
I
down,
understand, he's got a long way to scratch and claw up that ladder.
Does he really? Yeah, he probably gets pushed around.
He might be a
little
big
bit.
boy in this state, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So he's a big fish in the Florida pond, a little smaller fish in the global or U.S.
He's no
president.
Ahmed Badir just yet.
Right. And Ahmed is the guy who put this together,
Yeah.
obviously. I mean,
We didn't know that before.
We know that for a fact.
No, we
But let's
didn't.
check out now, ladies and gentlemen, one of the next Muslim Brotherhood leaders in America out of Los Angeles. When we confronted him, now you ask, how do you know where these guys are going to be? We can't reveal all the secrets of the way we operate, but not all the people that are friendly with them maybe are as friendly as they think they are in their own organization. Let's just leave it that
What are
way.
you talking about?
Imam Abdullah helps
That's
us
right.
out quite a bit.
All right. Well, here's Mr. Alouche right here.
Yeah. Well, I got a question for you. We're doing a little documentary on the Muslim Brotherhood. You mind if we tape you?
I don't have any answer to ask other than enjoying
Beautiful weather, right?
Beautiful. Are you enjoying beautiful weather?
No.
Aren't you
Look,
loving
we're trying-
the cherry blossom?
Yeah, it is beautiful.
Do you have that in
beautiful day.
Florida?
Yes.
You do?
No cherry.
No, we don't have it in
We got
LA
beautiful, but you got beautiful vegetation.
We got beautiful weather there, beautiful
Is there a
beaches.
Muslim Brotherhood
And there
in
was
the
an
United
earthquake.
States?
I heard when I left in LA.
Earthquake?
Yeah.
So you left and it happened.
And that's it.
Can you watch my bag right there, please?
What is he doing there?
Oh, he argues pretty effectively for Palestine.
There was a street guy
is-
there.
what is
with
he
just
doing?
an
What is he
anti-Israel
doing?
street guy.
Just a street guy. But he's pretty.
Don't you love the freedom that we have here?
That's beautiful.
Beautiful.
He
Do you have that in
argues.
Florida?
He argues your argument better than some of you guys do.
I don't argue.
He's a little wacky, but he's got some cogent arguments. But back to whether or not there's a Muslim Brotherhood in the United States. Do you think so?
I don't know. You have to ask them.
Well, I'm asking you.
I've never heard of them.
CAIR has been identified by the Department of Justice right down the street as an
never-
affiliate of the Muslim Brotherhood. You're a leader of CAIR in Los Angeles.
That's news to me. Thank you for
That you're a leader of CAIR?
that I'm leader of CAIR. No, that the Department of Justice.
No, I've been there. I've met with them. They never said that to me. I've never heard that.
Suppose I show you the
Maybe
documents.
whoever is telling you, maybe they're just playing.
It's the Department of Justice. Suppose I show you the documents.
I meet with them all the time. They never told me that.
I'll send it to you.
Because that would be news to all of us.
That the Department of Justice has identified CAIR.
That CAIR has any affiliation with anything outside of
With any, you're talking about the Muslim Brotherhood,
Yeah,
not anything.
definitely we have no affiliation with the
So there
Brotherhood.
is a Muslim Brotherhood.
In Egypt, there's Muslim Brotherhood. In
The United States?
Not to my knowledge. Maybe they
Not
are.
to
I
my
don't know.
knowledge.
Not with CAIR.
Beautiful day in Washington.
Beautiful day. I love it.
See, all we wanted, and it was a little rough with the wind, but this is a street confrontation. All we wanted was for these guys to come on the record one way or the other. Now, what did he do? What did he do that he should not have done?
He answered the question. He answered the question. No, there's no Muslim Brotherhood in America. He screwed up.
What was he instructed to do?
Have a nice day.
He was instructed to do the party line. He probably will get 40 lashes from Nihad Awad.
I know Nazi.
He probably will, because he shouldn't have said, I don't know if there's a Muslim Brotherhood in the United States. You know, he thought he could be cool. He thought he's slick. But we've been at this game a little while and can find out what's going on with these guys. Now, we're going to put a complete case together down the road for other reasons. But Roger, what do you make out of those couple of videos?
Well, after giving it considerable thought, I think I really do have to agree with him. It was a beautiful day on Capitol. It's obvious, okay, when someone avoids a question and they plead the fifth or they lawyer up and they just don't address the issue, is that they just have something to hide. It's a foregone conclusion. I don't think that you can really think about it any other way. They certainly have the right to deny and not answer a question, and that in itself does not make them guilty. But certainly if they didn't have any feelings of guilt, they would answer the question, you know?
I've been involved in a lot of this stuff for many years, many controversial things, and the only time I would not answer a question is if it were protected in some lawsuit or was information they shouldn't know, but certainly not information that was common knowledge. Common knowledge. They should have said. How do you think they should have handled it?
What it's like back during the 70s and 80s and a little bit into the 90s when people were denying that there was a mafia or a La Cosa Nostra. Is there a La Cosa Nostra? No, not in America. It's the same type of denial.
Tom and Roger would know the answer to that.
Well, there really
no
wasn't.
Cosa Nostra in
We know
America.
that. There really
never
wasn't.
was.
No, that never happened. Maybe we understand how those
in New
guys
York,
think.
too.
Hey, Tommy, what's this guy talking about?
Maybe we understand how those guys think. Alan, you just saw 3 of the top brothers in the United States of America by reflection. Share with us some of your insight.
Well, Tom, what we saw is that CAIR, Mazin Mokhtar, and Nihad Awad, they refused to answer the question, with Alush from CAIR, they refused to answer the question, is the Sharia Islamia or Islamic law, is there a political element to it? By refusing to answer that question, they admit that there is a political element, that it is a political movement. And that is infinitely important in what you're trying to expose here today in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, in a little while we'll show you. You have that video queued up, racked up?
Yeah, we have the video racked up. I just want to say, how is there not a political component if they're on Capitol Hill?
They're on Capitol Hill,
That kind of abolishes that argument.
Good point.
I mean, just the fact that they're there means there's a political element.
These guys are comical. I mean, they have become caricatures of themselves. And if you haven't noticed, this is really happening worldwide. Islam, which 20 years ago nobody really knew anything about in the West. Yeah, Muslims, they're weird people, they have a funny religion like so many other people all over the world. Who cares? They do their own thing, no big deal. But they broke out of that to execute their Sharia doctrine for supremacy and world control. And when they started moving in that fashion, then 20 years later, they have ridiculed themselves by their own doctrine, their own actions, before any sentient human being, before any human being with any moral turpitude. They see that Islam is a failed system, and these Muslim leaders are pushing a failed doctrine, and just the opposite is occurring of what they desire. They desire some some supremacist position, some recognition as being better than others, and all their efforts are forcing the conclusion to the contrary, that this is a destructive system. These are failed individuals. They're becoming funny now, a caricature of themselves, and they've got to take the tip of the spear Muslim brothers, the Islamic State, Al-Qaeda, and they've got to now disassociate themselves from those who are living out Islamic doctrine more purely than them. And it's just an incoherent mess. Well, it is crumbling in the United States of America. We need to keep the pressure on.
Amen.
Amen.
And when you have as your stated objectives, as your motto, Allah is our objective, the Prophet is our leader, the Quran is our law, jihad is our way, martyrdom is our highest hope. I mean, how can you disassociate yourself that with a non-political objective while lobbying on Capitol Hill?
It's the height of absurdity. We ought to take that motto, go on the street, do some man-in-the-street interview, say, hey, what do you think of the Muslims' desire for this motto in life? Go to Newark, New Jersey, go to Chicago, go different places. And,
well, what's more troubling is their objectives, their stated objective, which was part of the other piece that of material we were handing out. On the Wall of the
West.
Which is the Muslim Brotherhood U.S. objective, which is the civilizational jihadist process is a kind of grand jihad in eliminating and destroying the Western civilization from within and sabotaging its miserable house so that it is eliminated and Allah's religion is made victorious over all other religions. That doesn't sound like people being justice and equality for all, as Usama Lush states Sharia to mean in another later interview that you did with him.
Yeah, and there's supposed to be so much solidarity in the 56 Islamic nations centered in the Ummah, where these are united as brothers in Islam. You know what we saw that was very interesting, and we're gonna reserve this for another show because it was just so fascinating. Monday was Muslim Brotherhood Advocacy Day, and there were about 250 people by the count of the Muslim Brothers. And we saw probably 200 people. Not that they inflate numbers or anything. But Tuesday was what day? What was the name of Tuesday?
Palestinian Advocacy Day.
What did many of the Muslim Brotherhood leaders and the attendees on Monday, who all just hate Israel and the occupying country and they're for the Palestinians, what did 90% of these people do on Tuesday?
They pulled the ripcord.
They left.
They blew out of Dodge. We interviewed them. We go, aren't you staying for Palestine Advocacy Day? Whoa, we don't get involved in that stuff. We're out of here. We that's a different issue. We don't. What are you talking about? Isn't every Muslim concerned about the horrible occupying nation of Israel against the poor Palestinians? Yeah, that's not for us. They left. They abandoned.
Nihad is from Gaza, is he not?
He was MIA. We couldn't see him.
I didn't see it. Listen, Alan, Roger, and I were there on Tuesday. You guys came home on Tuesday. You didn't get to go do the silliness that we did.
People don't know that. Now they do, but that's okay. No big deal.
Sorry,
maybe they don't.
We saw two people walking around for that event. Two all day.
Two people
on Tuesday compared to all that we saw on Monday.
Hey, message to the phony baloney infrastructure supporting the Palestinians. Nobody buys this anymore. That whole thing is crumbling. There are no Palestinian people. The whole thing is nonsensical, and your own people are abandoning this great cause for which you fight. Right before our eyes, we're seeing all of this occur. We got some other interesting video because I don't know how he got there, but our own Imam Abdullah somehow popped up on Capitol Hill. Is he with us by any chance in the studio?
Hold on. He's coming in.
I hear the door closing. Why do we have Roger
yes,
there?
I'm terribly sorry.
Why do we have Roger's gigantic head there all the time?
Very, very sorry.
I'm show. Being on your show, Tom,
he's so good looking. That's why.
Very, very sorry for my tardiness. On Fridays I come straight from Juma prayers, and it is very difficult for me to get here in time.
All right, well,
Mark, get rid of that, please.
Yeah, here, let me do it like this. There's Abdullah. All right, so what we have at 40 minutes after the hour, it's 40 minutes after 4 o'clock, Tom Trento,
HFS.
No, I was doing the other one.
WSBR.
SBR.
Sunny Boca Raton.
740. See, I listen to 1470 in the mornings coming here, our former station, and I get them all mixed up. WSBR 740 on your dial right now. We're coming out of Boca Raton and 1010 out of Tampa Bay. We saw, I don't know, let's just go to the footage and we'll see what we see. Check this out.
All right.
Good afternoon. This is Imam Abdullah reporting from the Rayburn Building in Washington, D.C., where many of the House of Representatives have their offices. And we were passing out a book called Explanatory Memorandum from the archives of the Muslim Brotherhood in America.
Hold on. What office is he standing in front of?
I can't quite read that. It
What's that
looks like
say? Andre Carson?
Andre Agassi? No.
Andre Carson's office.
Andre the Giant? No. Andre Carson. That's who it is.
Yes, my most favorite of all Congress people. He's helped out the Brotherhood more than anyone, except maybe Keith Ellison.
And let me take a wild guess. Of what religious persuasion is Andre Carson?
He is Muslim, of course.
Oh, okay. Let's see what Abdullah did that day.
The play button.
And we're passing this out to all of the House members. And here we are at my most favorite of all Congress people, Representative Andre Carson of the great state of Indiana. And we're just going to hand off the explanatory memorandum. Not that he is not very familiar with this item because he's been working for a long time. Yes, thank you very much. Well, good afternoon. Or Congressman Carson is good?
Absolutely.
Yes, and what this is, it is called an explanatory memorandum for the Muslim Brotherhood in America. I'm sure he's very familiar with these things. He's been helping us for years. And I would just like to hand this off, and please make sure he gets. Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, very good. Assalamu alaikum, young lady.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
And so we have just passed out my last book, luckily to Representative Andre Carson. I have no more books. We've hit all of the offices in the building, and now it is time to go pray.
And there we have Alan. I see you on the screen here. Did you by any chance run across Imam Abdullah when you were walking the halls of Congress?
Yes, Imam Abdullah was engaging our congressional lobbyists, our representatives, and he was engaging them in an intelligent manner. They embraced him warmly and kindly, much nicer than they did us the previous day. Amazing.
Now,
Yes, it is very amazing.
It's important for
They
everybody
love
to
me.
know that here at the United West, we're classified by some folks as haters and Islamophobes and all that nonsense.
Because you are.
Yeah, we like to, we expose people, and when you expose somebody factually and they can't respond, then they call you names. We're used to that. No big deal with all of that. And we also like to do a little tainment in our education, so we do edutainment. And a little bit of the tainment, a little bit of the entertainment may include a little bit of parody or sarcasm or the literary devices that the theater has been using for literally thousands of years. And one of the reasons why we use the theatrical devices, as you have just seen, is because the folks on the other side, the enemies that make up enemies of the state, they love when we kind of make fun of their situation and highlight it sarcastically with parody. Don't you, Imam Abdullah?
Absolutely. This is one of the mechanisms that we use for doing the job that we do, Tom.
And we get it done, and there's going to be more of it. We have about 400 people in training. They all look like Imam Abdullah, and we're going to let them out all over the United States to go to every single mosque, like every single Friday. So we're working on that project. Are you in other places too? How many places did you go in? How many offices?
Well, I went to many, very many. I go to very many congressmen, dozens.
This is our
Not
favorite.
as many as you, Tom, because you have a little army there distributing. I am only one little Muslim man.
Just one little guy.
Yes, but
Now,
I was very, very effective.
For all the folks just coming in to the show, 45 minutes after the hour on the
Telleson's
17th.
office.
On Friday the 17th, Jumpin' Juma Freaky Friday. The B-roll rolling behind me is Imam Abdullah, going into many different offices from Senator McCain to what were some of the other ones you went into?
I went into Debbie Wasserman Schultz. I go to Tim Ryan. I go to Elsie Hastings. I go all over the place. You know me. I'm a player in that hill there.
You are becoming a player, and Ahmed Badir is going to be very upset with you.
I'm nipping at his heels.
But this is a summary of our confrontational operation entitled We Care, Operation We Care, CAIR, that we launched. It had 3 parts for those of you just joining us. We had a 5-part investigative series. You could find that on our homepage, theunitedwest.org. Go back and watch all 5 parts. Really amazing stuff. We feature Claire Lopez, Ryan Morrow, and others. Second part was massive distribution. We hit about 400 of the 535 offices. We figure there's 135 members that don't matter. So we hit 400 offices, key offices, and distributed that flyer right there, the memorandum. That was the second part, preempting the Muslim Brotherhood's lobbying efforts, warning, and the way we warn people is danger, danger, danger on the piece of paper. And the third part of the operation was the confrontation of the individuals themselves, the leadership. And if we have that piece with Alush regarding questioning about the Sharia having a political component, this would be a great time to play that little piece if we have that piece.
Wasn't it the last piece we had, though, Tom?
I think it's in this video right here a little later.
Actually, we have, we did the Alush piece, but it's also
the Sharia piece. All right, well, you guys can find it.
It's at the end of this piece.
It's at the end of this one, yeah. Now,
if you want to go ahead and play a few minutes of this, this is kind of like our journal or our recap.
Yeah, run it through. Go ahead. We got time.
Lobby 114th Congress into Elsie Hastings' office with the exploratory memorandum. In fact, earlier today, we just ran into this guy right here who refused to answer the question, does the MB exist in America today? Nihad Awad,
I didn't see Siraj
Executive Director of
No,
CAIR.
I did
We're
not.
lucky enough to run into
Didn't
him.
see Grover up there either.
Siraj, we got to
flyers.
do a Grover for the show.
See you later. Well, here I am outside of Congressman Andre Carson's office in the Rayburn building.
I went there too, we both go.
The alert flyer
Coincidence.
into his mailbox. Danger, terrorist lobby, 114th Congress.
What an ugly group of men.
About 200 books already. And we're now going to the Senate side to do the 100. So it's going very, very well. What is your plan? And I'll tell you if it can work.
I'll take one to make sure it comes out right.
Okay, we'll go to the end of that tape here in a minute. You want to play the rest of it?
Look at that. We'll
Look
keep
at the
playing
cherry
this.
blossoms.
That is beautiful. Yeah, keep going because we go, I think we go to the, what a beautiful picture. We were in D.C. just when the cherry blossoms peaked. Really beautiful.
Well, folks, here we are at the nation's capital.
The
We are
next day,
passing
the
out,
helicopter
warning
landed on the
flyers,
lawn.
as well as a copy of the memorandum. We got a volunteer that rode his Harley up from Florida just to do this. We got Lenny. Lenny, say hello.
Hello, Lenny.
All right.
God bless America.
We got Roger over here.
That would be me.
All right. And we got the corn dog. Say hello, corn
Hey
dog.
there. How are you doing?
All right. Well, we just finished at the Rayburn building. We're ahead of schedule.
See, actually, I was at the Masters. I came up from the Masters. Almost made the cut. It was that 3-putt on the 18th hole. Knocked me right.
That'll get you every time.
I'm telling you.
That and the 17 on the 16th.
Oh, boy. It wasn't myself.
Well, here's the situation.
Jordan Spieth is not helping us distribute today.
That's right.
Here comes a
Although
wandering guy in the back.
he did wish us well.
He has a well-deserved new
Yes.
jacket.
I was going to be on the golf course with him, okay? And I shoot in the low 70s. But if it's any warmer than that, I try not to go out on the course.
That was pretty good, actually.
I was going to say, how'd you do on the back nine?
Yeah, on the back nine.
We're showing a little bit of
Mark,
behind-the-scenes
say hello.
work.
Hey. We're here in front of the U.S. Capitol. Over here's Rayburn building. And we got Muslim terrorists out
Do we
here
look like
lobbying
haters?
Congress.
We're a bunch of
that good or
American
bad?
guys.
Wow,
having
yeah, it's
fun.
a great
longer
thing.
tie.
Yeah, what a great idea that is.
All right, folks, that's our. We're on our walk from the Rayburn building over to the Senate offices, and we'll give you an update a little bit later. Senator of Arizona, Jeff Flakes, to hand out the explanatory memorandum and warning letter.
There was a lot of walking, a lot of work.
My dogs were barking.
Some information for the senator, please. Perfect, yeah. Okay, this is a warning. You are going to have Muslim terrorists coming to lobby you today.
I mean, we told them straight out, terrorists are coming in here to lobby. And we specified that the leadership, some of the attendees were clueless about it.
Okay, here we are at the Honorable Senator Harry Reid's office, and we're going to be passing out our flyer
one of the other
to his staffers. It is the Danger Terrorist Lobby 114th Congress flyer. All right, we just got finished handing out our book, our memorandums, and our flyers at all three Senate offices building, the Dirksen, the Russell, and the Hart. We hit the majority of them. We got Roger here standing in front of the Supreme Court. We got Kenny over here in his flag shirt helping us out. We got the big boss man, Tom Trento, right here on the court, or on the steps of the Supreme Court of the United States.
Beautiful
Tom,
building, isn't it?
how's it going today, buddy?
I'm playing Tetris. Is that the name of this?
No, he's not.
I'm
I
playing
think you're
Angry
uploading.
Birds. I'm playing Angry Birds.
Actually, he's uploading.
Playing Angry Muslim Brothers. That's what I'm
Yes,
playing
because that's
right
what we
here.
have here.
Very angry. We just confronted Mazen Maktout, very professionally, legally in the Hart Building. Asked him if the Muslim Brotherhood exists in the United States, and he gave us, well, we're going to upload it. You look at the answer he gave us, which is the same answer Nihad Awad gave. So these folks have been briefed from the top. Operation Save America is going greatly well.
And I'll tell you right now, what they're said, no matter what question they're asked, their reply is, it's a beautiful day on Capitol Hill today. So that's it, folks. There's the U.S. Supreme Court. Beautiful building. What goes on might not be so beautiful. It's like watching sausage made, but hey, that's Washington. See you later.
A serendipitous or providential
Watch this.
encounter with Alush from Los Angeles. He's the head of CAIR in Los Angeles. He happened to be on the corner right next to the United States Capitol, and I had an opportunity to engage in him. He's very slick, he's very smooth, tries to slide and dodge and weave. But check out what we talked about, particularly as I asked them about whether or not the Sharia has a political plus a religious component.
The values of equality and justice for all people is something I live by all the time.
Let me ask you about the
Guides me
Sharia.
how I treat my neighbors, how
Let me
I
ask
treat
you
my
about the
friends.
Sharia.
That's what I understand Sharia. I understand Sharia to mean equality for all people. That's what Sharia means.
Does Sharia have a component?
I asked, does Sharia have a political component? No, it doesn't. The answer. All right, now, and there he is driving away. I don't want to really deal with this.
As quickly as possible.
Yeah, the question,
It's
does
one of the
the
top guys in CAIR confronted him with the Department of Justice, Holy Land Foundation, identifying CAIR as a part of the Muslim Brotherhood. Oh, I don't know anything about that. Oh, I meet with the Department of Justice. This is the influence operation we've been talking about. And number two, confronted him with the question, does the Sharia, and this is very difficult for Muslims because their followers need to listen to the truth. I asked him if the Sharia has a political and religious component, and he dodged and weaved, and you saw what he did. He could not admit that as a political component, otherwise he'd be in serious trouble here in Washington, D.C. That's why we came here to expose this influence operation by CAIR here in Washington, in Florida, Los Angeles, all over the United States of America.
And he concluded by, that was excellent work by everybody. But Alush, again, who is Alush, Hussam Alush, he is the number 3 man. If there was a La Cosa Nostra, and if they did have organized families from around the country, he'd be like the number 3 man in the organization. He had to actually say there is no political component to the Sharia. He had to say that, which if a person picks up a book for the first time and reads about Islam, how could you not understand that the fact that it is fully, thoroughly, completely a political system? In fact, it's primarily a political system. But why couldn't he say it? Why can't he admit it?
All right. Just to put the nail in the coffin here, this is who CAIR is. This is who they were founded by. All these people around them, Hamas, convicted 65 years, 20 years.
Mark has a graphic up. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, I'm sorry, 27.
There's 7 faces, and all of them except Nihad Awad, for our listening audience, all of them except Nihad Awad have been convicted. Then there's 27 other people that were involved. Go ahead, Mark, explain it from there.
27 planners and meeting attendees who are board members, officers of terrorist organizations, are convicted terrorists, and are members of Hamas. Not us saying it, not Tom saying it, not the United West, not Roger, not Alan, not Damon, nobody. The FBI. This is FBI documented records. 27 planners are Hamas. This is what CAIR was founded by.
And it's critically important to understand when there's a Muslim Brotherhood Advocacy Day on Capitol Hill, that's a Hamas day.
Yes.
The Brotherhood is Hamas, CAIR is Hamas, Hamas is the Brotherhood, Hamas is CAIR. That was a Hamas day on Capitol Hill, and 2 weeks ago we were standing on the border of Hamas at Gaza being briefed by people who are fighting the Hamas on a regular basis, who now are digging more tunnels with their heavy equipment and all the material that the world is sending to help them rebuild. The Hamas is building more tunnels to attack Jews at a point of their choosing, say their leaders.
And let's not forget Grover. Let's get Grover in there.
At 56 minutes after, we'll stick Grover in there, and we'll stick Andre Carson next week. We have a whole exposition, a dossier exposing Andre Carson as a Muslim Brotherhood operative. There's no other way to conclude when you look at the documentation.
Exactly.
But we also put on that flyer a fourth person who is not Islamic by birth, but who seems to be by behavior Islamic in desire, Islamic in doctrine, Islamic in body politic, Islamic in influence. And where is that person? It isn't Roger there.
It isn't Roger.
Get Roger out of there. There it is. The fourth person down the bottom is none other than
Grover Norquist.
And if you follow the show, we maintain Grover Norquist is a Muslim Brotherhood operative going way back to 1999, possibly earlier. We stuck him on this terrorist list because he has been identified factually, not by our supposition or conspiracy theories, factually, as being in partnership with Muslim terrorists who are in prison right now. That's a pretty good indication of where he lives and breathes. We put him there. That document was distributed on the 13th of April. Gentlemen, what happened on the 14th of April with Grover?
He fired himself.
He did what?
He fired himself from the board. He got reelected to the board of the NRA, and then he decided to step off the board of the NRA while they do an investigation on him. So in essence, he fired himself from the board.
I wonder if he's going to get to hire Cleta Mitchell to do the investigation.
By quick review, Frank Gaffney has been working for many, many years exposing Grover, not as the iconic conservative tax authority that he is, but as a Muslim Brotherhood operative. People have dismissed Frank as being on a witch's hunt. Well, the facts are coming out now. Glenn Beck dove in, started exposing Grover, and the NRA had tremendous pressure on them nationwide to keep Grover off the board. They launched an investigation to determine whether or not he has Islamic Brotherhood ties. They're in the middle of that. Notwithstanding the investigation, on April 11th, they re-elected him to the board. Grover, for whatever reasons, on the 14th, one day after we distributed this on Capitol Hill to many of his friends, removed himself as a board member during the investigation. More on that later.
So Grover, literally days after re-election, removes himself from the board. There's going to be an investigation. Hopefully it is much more thorough than the investigation that the ACU went through, the American Conservative Union that puts on CPAC, because Cleta Mitchell of the ACU did the investigation and disregarded publicly available information that clearly tied Grover Norquist to many, many Muslim Brotherhood operatives.
More
and
on that.
Hopefully the NRA does a more sufficient investigation of Grover than the ACU did.
That's our prayer. We thank you all for following our work over the past 46 days. As I started our work in Israel, you'll see starting next week, our work in Washington, D.C. My hat is off to all, all our guys that were with us and others that joined us in Washington. Great job. Bottom line, confront, expose, and you will defeat the baddest and toughest of any Muslim Brotherhood anywhere on the face of the earth. Take care. See you tomorrow.